As you can tell by the title of this video, it's going to be about how my cancer was diagnosed, like how they found it and that. In 2 days time, the 7th of May, it will be 6 years since I was first diagnosed, so I thought it would be an ideal opportunity for to kind of get my story out there. When I was first diagnosed, there was no really kind of information like on YouTube or anything like that. It was really just about what it was. I had ovarian cancer, and it was all kind of like ladies like in America and things like that. Just a warning before I start, I'll be talking about like kind of bleeding and smears and things like that, so if you don't want to hear anything like that, then just kind of skip this video. It's not like too gory, but I will be mentioning it. So I've got paper here just in case you see me looking down. I'll like forget something and then remember it later on and jump back, so this way it kind of keeps me on track really. So I'm just gonna get started. I was 28 when I was diagnosed. The type I had was, I think it's MUCINOUS ADENOCARCINOMA or MUCINOUS ADENOCARCINOMA. I'll leave it kind of down below because I really don't know how to pronounce it and I've probably just butchered it there. But I was diagnosed with stage 3A. So I'll kind of give a little bit a background on how it kind of came about, because with me being only 28, it wasn't in my family, it didn't run in my family or anything like that. Nobody had it before I did, so this way it kind of like you can see like the symptoms and kind of things like that. So I was officially diagnosed in May 2010, but kind of looking back, my symptoms kind of started from around September, October 2009. I'd started putting on a lot of weight, and at first I thought it was just eating too much, but it didn't matter what I did or what diet I did or how much I ate, how little I ate, I just couldn't seem to shift it at all. It is all like kind of at the front. The only way I can describe it is like being really heavily pregnant. It started from right under my bust all the way down. I remember round about Christmas time, and I remember trying to play Just Dance on the Wii with my daughter, and literally after a few seconds I was so breathless and so sore and aching. I couldn't even bend down to tie my shoelaces or anything like that. It was just really like swollen. At that time I still thought it was just fat. I thought it was just the usual, you know, you kind of put on too much weight and things like that. So then about the end of December, I had started to bleed after sex. At first I kind of really didn't think too much of it, it was only a little bit, but then it kind of increased, and it was like literally after every time I did really. Still kind of really didn't kind of think it was too much, I thought it was just being too rough kind of thing. And then I think it was about round about January kind of time, yeah, about January time, I thought maybe I had an infection. I'd started to bleed between my periods. It was like literally I would come on, bleed a few days, stop a few days, and then it would just continue on off on off. It started to get really bad. So I had missed a smear, like one smear at that point, so I decided to just go along to the doctor. I think it was maybe an infection, get antibiotics for it and get it cleared up. So I decided to make an appointment with the doctor I think it was about the beginning of March. So I went in, I explained everything to her about missing the smear, about the bleeding. To be honest, I really didn't go in there to mention the weight because I thought that was just fat. I really went in there about the bleeding like kind of after sex and between my periods. So I went in and like she done my smear and she took a lot of bloods, and I just so happened to mention the kind of the weight really and just said that I couldn't manage to lose it. So she said she would take a bunch of bloods, take my smear and what she would do, because all the weight seemed to be at the front, she thought maybe it was a cyst. So she was going to refer me to the hospital for an x-ray, really just to kind of like see if it was that. And even then I was like, it's just a cyst. I'd had cysts before, and even like just before I fell pregnant with my son, I had precancerous cells on my cervix, and then once he was a few months old I had to go and get them frozen off. So I still didn't really think too much of it. That was fine. She took loads of bloods and I went away. I was to phone back in a few days' time for my blood results and my smear results. So a few days later, I phoned back up and I had to go back in and see her. She said my smear results had showed that I had significant cellular abnormalities, and my blood results had showed it was a high CA125. A CA125 is like a tumour marker for your ovaries, but it could be if you've got a cyst or an infection, it could be raised. She said mine was quite high, so she was just going to refer me to the hospital anyway, like she was doing, and I was just to go in and get checked out at the hospital. They would do more tests and kind of go from there. So that was fine. I mean, I still wasn't kind of too worried. I was a little bit, because obviously my smear results had come back with a problem, but I was like, it's not too bad, we'll just go to the hospital. So my hospital appointment came through, and I went up. She done a abdominal scan and a transvaginal scan, I think that's what it's called. And she had like a kind of feel in my tummy and things like that. After like she had a look at that and like checked my stomach and that, she said that I would need to go and have surgery to have the cyst removed. It was so large that they couldn't remove it any other way. To remove it surgically, it was too large. I mean, even when I was kind of sitting up, she said herself that it went from right under my bust right down to just below my belly button, so it was pretty large. And because it was kind of so hard and so swollen, it was really uncomfortable. So she said she was sending me for a MRI, just really to kind of like check and see if there's anything else they could see. So she wanted me to have a biopsy as well, just because my smear had showed abnormalities. She wanted to kind of see if there was anything else going on there that was maybe causing the results. So that was fine. I had it that day, and honestly it was so uncomfortable, and I would never want to go through it again. I remember her doing it, and it was like 3 other nurses there with her, and they're all trying to kind of like talk to you and kind of like take your mind off it, and it was just so uncomfortable. It was horrible. So about 8 days later, she phoned me back with the kind of results and like a kind of update like on my surgery and things like that. She was kind of pretty vague on the phone, which I wondered why really at the start. She said the biopsy was clear, so the abnormal results from the smear weren't coming from my cervix, so she didn't know really kind of where they were coming from. But she said that the MRI had showed a really large cyst. It was measured at 23 centimetres, so it was so large that they would have to kind of take it out surgically. I remember I asked her kind of a few more questions, and she kind of said that the oncologist will answer any questions. And I think it was kind of at that point I was like, maybe something's kind of a little bit sinister here, because as soon as you hear an oncologist, you're like, oh my god, it's kind of serious. So at that point I was kind of a bit more kind of frightened. So about a week and a half later, I had my surgery date through. I was able to kind of go up a couple of days before and speak to the surgeon and like kind of really kind of talk to him about kind of like what would happen during surgery, because up until that point I hadn't even been told like how long I'd been for, what would be happening, or anything like that. So I went up and spoke to him, and honestly it was so lovely, and it kind of put your mind at rest a little bit. As I was speaking to him, he like kind of told me again that the cyst measured 23 centimetres. It was pretty large. They didn't really kind of know what kind of cyst it was until they kind of had me in theatre, opened me up, and like had a look. He did say to me that my CA125, which is like my blood tumour marker for the ovaries, it was 265, and I think, like I said, like anything under 50 is kind of classed as normal, so it was pretty raised. As we were kind of speaking, he kind of gave me two options. He said, like, the first option, I could like go under, have the cyst removed, and what they do is they kind of well them under. They kind of take a little kind of like a tester kind of thing to kind of like test like what's there really, in case it's like cancer or it's not. He said I could have that done. What they would do is they would just literally remove the cyst, kind of like close my back up, and then he would come and speak to me about the results, and then we would go from there. And then like if I had to have further surgery, if they'd found anything else, then I would have the surgery further down the line. Or the second option was they could open me up, do the test, and if they had found cancer, then they could like remove everything they could and like, kind of like wash it all out and everything. Unfortunately, that because it was my ovaries, that meant if they had found cancer that they would have to do a hysterectomy. He didn't know how bad it was. I could maybe have like a partial hysterectomy, or it would need to be a full one, but we didn't know until obviously I was actually under having the surgery. He said he wouldn't know as well if like my colon or my intestines had been affected, so it could be worst case scenario and I could end up with a kind of like colostomy bag as well. After kind of speaking to him, I decided to go with the second option. It was kind of mostly to do with kind of the kids, because I didn't want to kind of have one surgery, have to heal up, say they'd found anything else, and then have to kind of like go back under again, because I was a single parent at that point and my mum was like kind of having the kids for me while I was in a hospital, and it was just kind of like, it seemed kind of like easier. And also in the back of my mind I was like, if they find anything, I just want it out. I don't care, I just want it all out while they kind of can, and then that's it done. As well as kind of wanting it all out, I mean, as I was speaking to him and I was explaining to him, even though I was only 28, I mean, I'd already had 2 kids, I wasn't planning on any more kids, even though it kind of hysterectomy was so final. At that time I was just like, I've got 2 kids, I'm a single parent, I kind of need to kind of think like down the road really.